Hi, guys. Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-immigration officer, and former high school teacher, coming to you live once again for my Express Entry tip of the day. Now, those of you who are watching on YouTube, this is obviously a recording, but those of you who are within the Express Entry Law Facebook group, you're getting this live. I'm just jumping on here, sharing another tip on the wonderful world of Express Entry. I want to apologize. I haven't pushed out too many videos recently because I've been out of the country. I've actually been down in the US dropping off my dear daughter who is going to serve a mission for our church in Indianapolis. And I'm just going to pull up a quick little picture. There's a couple ones, but this is the one I want to show you. This is us on Wednesday. It is Friday today, March the 23rd. And this is us right at the Provo, Utah temple. We took our last little family picture, and that's us. My daughter's right in the middle, Jessica, and we dropped her off on Wednesday, just probably 15 minutes after this picture was taken, to serve her mission for our church. And she's going to be gone for a year and a half, 18 months, guys. And I'll be honest, it has been well, let's just say somewhat of a roller coaster. We've had a lot of time to prepare for this, and the reality is, now that the time has actually come and we got down there, we dropped her off, it was really hard. And normally a parent, if you're going to see your child go away to school, and many of you have probably experienced that, but seeing your child go away to school, you know that you're going to see them again within a couple months. And but for Jessica, she's going to be gone. She ain't coming back for a year and a half, full-time service, just helping and serving and doing what she can to help people in Indiana. Now, if that wasn't the only thing, I guess I should also mention that my son, and you can see him here, Adam, him and Jessica are both going. And so on April the 4th, I'm heading back down to Salt Lake City, Utah. And I'm just going to see if I can pull this one off right here. I've got so much going on, guys. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out, there we go, and get rid of that one. I'm trying to figure out all of the bells and whistles with my software here that I'm using. But on April the 4th, we're heading back down to drop off my son. And he's going, I think some of you have heard, is going to Trinidad. And he'll actually be spending most of his time speaking Dutch in Suriname, which is a country in South America. Those of you who are wondering where that's located. And who would have thought that a country in South America would have Dutch as its primary language? But that's the case with Suriname. So we are going to be dropping off my son right over here. I guess I get my finger going the right direction. Adam, in just another week and a half. And it's crazy to think about it. You know, how the time flies. So anyways, that's why I've been kind of out of commission. That's why I haven't been around. That's why I haven't been answering the questions like I normally do within our groups and on YouTube. Because, guys, the whole purpose I'm here is to help you. So with that being said, and without wasting any more of your time, I just wanted to get you guys up to speed as to what me and my family was doing. Actually, some of you probably saw the attempted video I did with our Lego racing cars in the Children's Museum down in Salt Lake. That was quite fun. But this is where we're at today. So I'm going to pull this up right here. Here is the Express Entry tip of the day. And this question is one that is asked a lot. Does my accompanying spouse have to write a language test? Well, the short answer, guys, is no, they don't. But unless you are one of those lucky people who has a job offer in Canada, has studied in Canada at a Canadian school, or is otherwise able to obtain a whack of CRS points, I'm talking a lot, you need to scrape by and accumulate every single comprehensive ranking system point that you can get your hands on. And if your spouse does not write the language test, you are losing 20 points. 20, guys. So you're just tossing it out the window if you're married. If you are not married and you're applying as a single applicant, you can shut off this video, turn it off, because this little tip of the day won't apply to you. But for the rest of you who are married, if you don't have that spouse write the test, you're losing 20 points. So I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to share my screen like I always do with you guys. If I can figure this out here. I'm going to share my screen. And I think you guys can see it for the most part. I'm going to close this one out. And then I'm going to pull up this one. And I'm going to blow it up nice and big so that everybody can see. I'm going to make sure that my image here is not blocking everything. But right here is the comprehensive ranking system criteria. These are how the points are allocated. So if you look at this, guys, and I'm going to keep it up, scrolled up high, you as a principal applicant, if you're applying without a spouse, none of this matters because all of these first points that you can see here, these first 500 points are all attributed directly to you. So you don't have to worry about it. And I'm looking at this column over here. But if you've got a spouse, you can see you get 10 less points for your education, 10 less points for your language proficiency, and the same story, 10 less points for Canadian work experience. But if you scroll down here, you can see right here, 40 total points is attributed to your spouse. And if you decide, hey, it's just not worth it, well, if or you feel like your spouse is not scoring high enough, understand that you're tossing away 20 points. And the reality is, to get even a fair number of those points, your spouse doesn't need to score really super high on the IELTS or on the CELPIP tests. So if we scroll down here and we go down right to the spouse and their points, so if we go to language right here, you can see there isn't a ton. There's a maximum of 5 points per ability. So even if you're getting a CLB level 5, your spouse can still get, up to 4 points, okay? And then if you can jump to CLB 7 for your spouse, then that's a 3 for each ability. So I think you guys can get the picture. I'm going to turn off my screen now. I'm going to stop sharing it and get back here to you guys. It's up to you what you want to do. But in every case, if you're one of those people who is outside of Canada, who is trying to find a way to get their magical ITA to be able to immigrate, you're going to need to scratch and claw and fight for every single point that you can get. So if you have a choice of having your spouse write the language test or not, get it done. Do it. And you guys have seen what the scores are. So I'm going to flip back to my screen one last time because that's what I love to do. And so if you look at the screen here, and I'm going to go back to the actual one, if I can see it here, I'm going to get this blown up a little bit. We're going to pull up the screen for the actual rounds of invitations. And you guys have seen what's happening. It is becoming increasingly difficult to qualify, more and more and more every single day. So the last round of invitations, we saw what happened. The total, guys, 456. And if we go into all of the other rounds of invitations and we look at them, you can see 442, 444, 446. Like, it is not easy to get up that high. And if you're not counting your spouse, you are missing out. Unless you're already that high, then hey, don't worry about it. All right? So, Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-immigration officer, and former high school teacher, giving you my tip of the day today. And I also want to let you guys know that next Tuesday, which will be March the 27th at noon, is going to be my next EE Live Q&A. So if you guys want to send in to me your questions, you can do that. And I'm going to see if I can pull up what I'm looking for here. You know what? I think I'm going to have to add a new one here. So I haven't had this one on. I haven't had to add this for a while. So right here, EE Live Q&A, and you can send it to my email address, which apparently I also do not have currently showing in here. Wow, it's been a while since I've done a Q&A, right, guys? Okay, let's see if I got this. I think so. Okay, so here you go. So if you want your question, and I'll put it right up here so it's not being interfered by anything. If you want your future question to be asked, and I'm going to get rid of that one, all you need to do is send an email to mholthe@stringham.ca and include EE Live Q&A in the subject line of that email, and I will answer your question on Tuesday in our next upcoming EE Live Q&A live on the Express Entry Law Facebook group. I will spin it out to you guys on YouTube, so don't worry about that if you're not able to catch it live. And those of you within Facebook land who are also not able to see things because Facebook is not letting you see everything that I do within our group unless I pay them to push it out to you, which I'm not prepared to do quite yet. You can access it on YouTube as well. I'll just give you a quick couple little things. I'm going to try to bring on a live guest on Tuesday. So you guys are going to love this. So I'm going to bring on a live guest that's going to share his story to you, his pathway of immigrating to Canada, which is totally awesome. And I'm going to bring him in as a guest. And I'm hoping that it's going to work out because this will be the first time that I bring on a live guest. I also want to let you guys know, as always, that these things are sponsored by the Canadian Immigration Institute and the Express Entry complete step-by-step guide to doing it yourself. And guys, I created that course for you. So those of you out in YouTube land or in our Facebook group that have not yet subscribed to it, guys, it's totally worth it. That guide walks you through step-by-step every aspect of Express Entry, right from the very beginning all the way through to getting your confirmation of permanent residence and landing in Canada. And it is a video tutorial. So this is the actual guide here. If you want to access it, all you need to do is go to CanadianImmigrationInstitute.com, type that into your URL, and you'll be able to access the course, and you can get started right away. All right, so that I want to leave those with you and just remind you, next Tuesday, and once again, I'm looking here, that would be March the 27th at noon Mountain Standard Time. I will be having my next EE Live Q&A, and that's where I will be able to answer your questions directly. So it's going to give you guys who have been waiting patiently for access to me an opportunity to get your questions asked. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. And those of you who are watching live, I'm sorry I wasn't able to get to your comments. As I look through all of you guys that are here who've posted comments, we've got Jasmine, Nitin, Maud, Amit, all you guys, sorry for not being able to answer your questions. But Tuesday is the magical day. So tune in. Thanks for watching. And if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're in the Facebook group, share it with your friends. Let them know about the group. We are almost at 109,000 members. Crazy, but that's what happens when you're producing something that is awesome. And when you've created something as fantastic as the Express Entry Law Facebook group, people share. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and I will see you guys all again right away soon. In fact, Tuesday. Take care.